Good evening. The Golden Apricot International Film Festival in Yerevan is hosting us, the public TV team, tonight. Our guest is French director Քրիս Փելերին. Madam Փելերին, thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you to do an interview with me. I'm sorry for my English, which is not so good.
Well, you're French.
I'm French, but living in Belgium.
Madam Փելերին, have you been enjoying your stay?
Yes.
In Armenia?
Yes, I am really honored to be here and to have been invited by the International Golden Apricot Film Festival. And I've seen really nice films, like I said, political films that you can see only in festival.
It's the 20th anniversary of the Golden Apricot. So far, judging by what you have seen, would you say that it is a successful, established tradition?
Here in Armenia, I think it's quite different maybe than the festival in France, because I've seen a lot of Iranian films, Syrian films, Georgia's near, so
the geography of films is
yes,
different.
Yes.
What else is different from what you're used to?
The hospitality of your Armenian people.
All right, we shall still talk about Armenia, but back to the festival. Your film, Waiting for the Flood, is one of the highlights of the festival. It was shown this morning. Was it well received by the Armenian society and the critics?
I don't know, because it was, I think it was a priority for the jury to see the film this morning, so I wasn't there. I'll be there tomorrow at the Moscow Theatre. It's going to be shown at 7:30 at the evening, so I'll tell you tomorrow. It will be tomorrow.
What expectations do you have from the film? Do you want it to make it to the top? Do you expect it to make it to the top?
By the screening. I don't really know how it's going to be received by the Armenian people or the people who are going to come to see it, because it's tomorrow.
You are a French filmmaker,
yes,
but your movie was shown or will be shown to the Armenian society. Do you believe that you speak a language that will relate to the Armenians?
Yes, maybe, because my film is on grave illness refugee. I have filmed 4 persons that have filmed on 4 years that have left their country because they were sick of dialysis, you know, when the kidneys doesn't work anymore, and they all want to have transplantation of kidney. And I was working in the hospital, and when I met them, I found them with another illness. They were so stressed to wait and not to have a residence. And if they had not a residence of 1 year, they can't be on the list to wait for kidney transplantation. So my main character is from Armenia. He's from a village, Ararat village. And I've followed him for 4 years and waiting for his residency. And I have filmed him a lot because he loves Ararat mountains, and the film, in a certain way, talks about Ararat mountains and Noé, the Bible history of Noé, going there with the flood, waiting for the flood.
Noah's Ark.
That's why the film
is believed to have landed in Ararat.
Yes.
That's right.
And I think he has shown me what he was seeing. Is, I don't know if you say horizon, when you look like this. No, you know? To show me what was his house, because he was refugee and he was suffering to be away from his home, away from his wife and children, but he had not the choice because he had to save his life. So he came to Europe, hoping to be cured, but it was not this story. He had to be really in the coma, and then he had his paper. So the film is quite political because it's talking about the bureaucracy of migration in Europe. That's maybe could be think and be careful, because if only a paper, residency paper, and you play on the life of people.
How bureaucracy gets in the way of a life and death matter.
In the sense that, for example, Meroujan Goulian, that is from here, he has waited for 7 years, and his administration, they didn't look at his paper. They only look at his paper once he was in the coma.
So this is based, your film is based on a true story.
Yes.
Why would a French filmmaker write about an Armenian personage?
Because where I did my film, it was a public hospital in Brussels, and the dialysis service is, there is a lot of refugee, because there is a lot of country where kidney transplantation is really difficult, and there is no medicine, or there is medicine, but for only rich people. So they go away to save their life, they try to save their life coming to Europe, but it's not so simple to have a residency of a year in Europe, even for people who are already in the country, understand? So they're not cured as they should be cured.
Why choose a refugee of Armenian origin?
I've not only chosen a refugee from Armenia because I think I had a relationship with that man, and there was something that I understood, that I needed him to do the film, maybe he needed me to do the film with him, you understand? It's like magic relation. But in my film, there are persons from Kosovo, Albania, Georgia, and I've seen a lot of people from everywhere, Africa, because the illness services are not, sometimes are not so good in the certain countries.
Back to the festival. There are about 100 movies presented from 70 countries. Is there a favorite among them of yours besides your own?
I've not seen a lot of film because I've just arrived yesterday night. I saw notes on displacement and from a Palestinian guy, and this morning, and it was really wonderful. Beautiful film.
It was the only one, or do you have a list of favorites?
I saw My Worst Enemy from Iran, who was a wonderful film too. But this is the only films I saw because I just arrived yesterday, the day before at night.
So many films from the Middle East have been shown during the festival.
Yes.
What is the difference, the main difference between European films and those that are being made in the Middle East or in Caucasus?
The film I've seen from Iran or the film I've seen from Palestine are treating about dictature. And again, people, Syria, you know what is happening today. So maybe I think these films are also seen in France.
And they are also politically themed.
Yes, they are really political films.
It's the centenary of the Armenian cinema. Over 24 Armenian films will be showcased in various categories. What's the place of the Armenian cinema in the world cinema art in your estimation?
I'm sorry, but I don't know. I don't know to answer the question. I don't know.
Parajanov?
Parajanov is a...
Does it strike a bell?
Yes, is God.
What's the direction you believe we should move in towards to strengthen Armenia-France cultural ties?
I think here they are really, the Apricot Film Festival is really working on the relation with France, with all the countries, and with France too. I am here with the film, so I think it's going to be like a relationship now. I hope you understand me, because I'm not sure to be really comprehensive. It's okay?
Yes, yes, sure. Are there any other fields of art that you think would be interesting here for Armenians and vice versa? Literature, perhaps? Any other closer spheres to the cinema, like the theater? Would the French theater be interesting to the Armenian audience, and the Armenian theater, perhaps, to the French audience?
You said Parajanov, for example. Parajanov is just, I think, like God in France. His imagination and poetry has no borders. And I think that when art is art, there is no more borders for Armenia or every country, you know?
How much of Yerevan have you seen yet?
of film.
Yerevan, the city.
I've seen not yet so much. I'm going to the Cascade tomorrow to see the Hararat, and I'm going to a village that I can see the Hararat too. And I'll go to the Pharajanov Museum, and I'm going to walk in Yerevan to feel Yerevan and to try to meet Yerevan.
But you said you have already had a chance to try to experience the hospitality and warmth of the Armenian people. Did you refer to the hotel service only?
No. Everybody's nice. Everybody's cool, and I feel tranquille. How do you say safe?
Peaceful.
Peaceful,
perhaps.
really peaceful. And I feel happiness with the people. They look like they are happy now.
What gives you the feeling?
Of happiness.
Both happiness and tranquility.
The face of the people, the way they smile at you. The people smile, and it's not always. In France, people maybe in Paris, they smile less.
It is not uncommon for a filmmaker to be looking for elements that might be incorporated into the next film. Do you think that you have picked up on some things in Armenia that you might use later on in your cinematographic profession?
What I made with my film, for example, meeting Meroujan, that now I meet Armenia, but when I was in Belgium, I met him, and he is Armenian, but he was a refugee. So, sorry to repeat me, but he has told me about his country. He has got apricot fields, and I was imagining his country, and like I knew a bit Armenia because he was my friend. So I'm really happy to be here because now I meet his country, and the Mont Ararat for me is a character. It's like a person because I felt that for him it was really important because it's his symbol. It's like he had Ararat in himself in Belgium, you understand? And to refer to the Bible and Catholicism and your story with your religion, I find it really nice. It's symbolic. Symbolic, and I think he used the symbolism that is in this film, save them from desperation.
Back to the Armenian culture, I'm sure you've had time to taste Armenian cuisine. Which dish did you like best?
I didn't have time really to taste Armenian cuisine, I'm sorry.
You haven't?
No, I've only eat fruit, and tomorrow morning we're going in a really nice village to taste Armenian food.
Thank you. One more time.
Okay.
French director Khris Phelerin was giving an interview to the Public TV tonight.